We have received lots of questions on what is ACCA, about different areas of that, and there is no comprehensive video to explain everything and what stages exist on ACCA. What are the fees, exam structure, paper lengths, fees and charges, the duration, and almost everything. We're gonna cover that in today's video. Be with us till the end of the video. This is Milad Akbari from Akbari Education. Welcome to your channel. As I told you, we're gonna cover a comprehensive video on what you need to know about ACCA, because the decision of doing ACCA will depend upon the information you have in your hand related to the toughness of that, the passing marks, the flexibility you have, the opportunity it will provide you, and we're gonna cover these things in this video. What exists in this video is why we should do ACCA, or why ACCA, FIA structure, ACCA structure, duration and salary range, paper lengths, the passing rates, and the fees and charges. We're gonna cover them. Let's jump to that. Why ACCA? The three major things exist is the globality, opportunity, and flexibility of ACCA. What does it mean by globality? You know, ACCA is recognized by almost over 180 countries. It means you are doing something which is recognized by more than 180 countries. If you gain that, you can work there. People will recognize you, employers will recognize you. Then the opportunity is there that you gain a job there, or you continue your studies there. Second one, over 200,000 members exist. Of course, this is a community, and community will support each other, and there is a relationship. The possibilities there, if a CFO of a company has ACCA, he gonna try to have another ACCA with himself to support him during his finance job or accountancy job. So 200,000, over 200,000 members exist, and nowadays over 500,000 students are studying to become ACCA and to gain the ACCA membership. And opportunities exist. One of the important points, in almost all the Europe, especially United Kingdom, ACCA is recognized as equivalent to master degree. So it means that when you gain ACCA, that is totally equivalent to a master degree inside the UK, Europe, and most of the countries now. Else, the possibilities here that by that ACCA you can gain another master degree, like UCL, University College of London, Oxford Brookes. They are providing the master degree. Of course, some additional fee will be charged, some extra work and thesis and these things exist, but you will gain another master degree from a recognized international university with the same ACCA you have. The bachelor degree opportunity exists as a modern one. By 9 paper you can gain the Oxford Brookes honors degree, which of course thesis and additional fees will apply. There is a route to other international certificates such as CGA Canada, such as ICAEW, CIPF, and other ones also. You can search that in Google and ACCA Global. You can find out what relationship exists and opportunities for the ACCA to other international certificates. And the important one, employability. Everybody is studying to gain some financial stability and opportunity to work. And when ACCA is recognized by lots of employers in lots of countries, the employment opportunities is high. It's not 100% guaranteed that you will gain the job, but the employment opportunity is high, especially on developing countries which need to stabilize their standards, their system, and everything. They will prefer those who have the chartered accountancy. Flexibility. You have seen our slogan, our quote, that learn to be independent, and independence is what we want. So ACCA is one of that. one of that which provide you independence. Anytime you want you can study, at the morning, at the night, at the evening, at whatsoever time you want you can study, and anywhere. I'm doing that in my current location. I will migrate to another location. I will continue that, because the online access to an account, which is your ACCA account, is available everywhere, and you can prove everywhere by showing that to the employer. This is my account, here is my result, I am currently a member or a student, this much paper is passed. Then everybody will recognize that, and wheresoever you want you can work or continue your studies. To go directly to the structure of FIA and ACCA, for the FIA, FIA is what is going on now in the world, and it have 7 papers: FIA and ACCA, ACCA and FIA. Foundation in Accountancy. Foundation in Accountancy is built of 7 papers, 3 papers plus 4 papers, 7 papers. Why I did like this, I will let you know. These 7 papers are FA1, MA1, FA2 and MA2. For more detail of the names you can search it on Google, or here it's the slides is available, you can check it there for the names. FA1, MA1, FA2 and MA2 are the basics, and we have other 3 papers which are FBT, FMA and FFA. The old names were F1, F2 and F3. This is the mutual or the joint papers with the ACCA. I will come to that. But for the meanwhile, we have these 7 papers to cover the FIA. And when you did this one, you are FIA qualified. You have passed the FIA. In addition to that, if you want to shift to the CAT, Certified Accounting Technician, from the 3 papers available, you can do any 2 paper. From that you can do 2 papers, and plus 1 year professional experience and some ethics module, you can gain that. But nowadays most of the people are not doing that. They're shifting directly toward the ACCA, and they are continuing their ACCA. They are doing FIA and will shift to ACCA and will continue that. In FIA papers, the exam is a computer-based exam. On-demand exams are available. Anytime you want, you can go and apply for the exam in one of the centers, and you will sit to the exam. The exam duration is for 2 hours, and the result will be announced at the same time. So the number of exam and these things are available freely anytime for you based on the center availability. That's it for the FIA. Let's go to the ACCA. For the ACCA, we have 13 papers. Nowadays it's 13 papers, 10 plus this 3. Why I did like this? These 13 papers are from ACCA, but the same 3 papers exist for the FIA. It means that those guys who joined by the FIA, they can do this 7 papers and they are exempted from this 3 paper and will go directly to rest of 10 papers and not required to do again this 3 paper. Exemption will be directly given to them, and they will have extra 10 papers to do, and jointly there will be 7 paper here and 13 paper for the ACCA. But together, if we count, overall we have the 17 papers for the FIA and ACCA. In ACCA, 3 layers exist. One of them is called applied knowledge. One thing, those who are 12th graduates, they can start whether from FIA, from the basic that's in your hand, or they can start from ACCA. Based on that, they have some English proficiency. If they start from ACCA, they will do the same 3 paper as the name of BT, MA and FA, the old names. I'm using mostly the old names, F1, F2 and F3. These are the 3 papers which they will do, and this is recognized as applied knowledge, and they have on-demand exam, and they can go with the same 2 hours duration, apply for the exam, receive the result at the end of that exam. For the applied skills, that's different 6 papers start from F4 to F9, from corporate and business law to financial management. These 6 papers are different except for the F4. F4 is the same of this, the same structure of exam, the same duration and same on-demand exam is available for the F4 as well. But for the rest of 5, from F5 to F9, these are the exams. These are also computer-based exams which are available, but the duration of that is for 3.5 hours, and that's available 4 times per year. You need to register for that. You will go for the exam and you will receive the result after a month, almost more than 1 month it will take. The structure of exam there is using the Word and Excel sheet. It means in past years, before 2018 and 19, that was the case. It was paper based and you will write everything and you will draw everything, do the calculation by calculator and these things. Nowadays they have shifted to type everything. You will type your answer on the Word and you will draw, do the calculation and everything on Excel sheets available online for you. You have 3 hours and 15 minutes for this exam, and now this computer-based exam. For the strategic professional level, we have 4 papers to do. Actually 6 papers exist, but from 6 papers, 2 first one, which is strategic business leader and strategic business reporting, SBL and SBR, are essential papers that you need to do them. But for the rest 4, this is in your hand totally, based on the market situation, based on your experience, based on even what you love. You will decide which 4 paper you do: FM, APM, ATX and AAA or AAA. Whatsoever, you will decide 2 of them and you will do this 2, and you will come to the end of ACCA. But for becoming ACCA member, what you need for the first 9 paper of ACCA plus the FIA, whether you do FIA or no, when you did the 9 paper up to F9, you will be recognized as the ACCA finalist. And once you're done your all papers of ACCA plus one thing as the name of ethics module, you will be considered ACCA affiliate. Those guys who did everything plus ethics module. But for becoming ACCA qualified or a member, you need to do 3 years of work experience, 36 months. But there is some conditions on that. What you need to work under another IFAC member or ACCA member, who is the guy registered with the IFAC and who is the guy who is supervising you, and he is able to sign your objectives. 9 objectives should be completed for that, and 36 months duration of time. You can search on Google and ACCA Global for more detail on that and the conditions of that, but that 36 months should be completed in addition to your papers and ethics module that we can call you ACCA member. That's why it's equivalent to master degree. For the duration, it's different. It depends upon actually what level of practice or time you will allocate for the ACCA is the variables which will decide the duration of the time it will take to do your ACCA and FIA. Mostly for the average 3 to 4 years is the average time it will take to do the ACCA. But those guys exist who did in only 1.5 years, because now we have 4 sessions per year, and that's available. Even for the P level, that's now available 4 sessions, and you can do it on computer based, and in some of developing countries still they are doing the paper based. So with consideration of all, 3 to 4 years exist, the average duration, and you can do it even in 1 year, 1.5 year or 2 years, but it depends on allocation of the time. But those guys even exist that it take 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, but they are still doing their ACCA and it's not yet completed. That's why ACCA come with a 7 years rule for the P level. Up to F9, whatsoever time it will take, that's in your hand. You can complete it. And for whatsoever number of exams you are attempting, you can do it. That's not a big deal. But after this 9 paper, this is the time you are entering to the P level, strategy professional papers. And for that, you need to have the 7 years rule. 7 years rule means that when you enter for the first exam of the P level, up to the time you complete all the P levels, 4 papers exist, all the P level, it should take less than 7 years. And if you reach to the peak of 7 years, all the papers you have covered will become to the 0, and you need to do all of them once again. So if we continue, salary range, one of the important points. Wow, salary range is different. In developing countries, it starts for the trainees, and actually it depends what you have in addition to ACCA. Some of the guys have some bachelor degrees, some master degrees, some good experience and these things, some talents, computer skills and these things. With consideration of all of them, in developing countries, the salary ranges between $6,000 to $40,000 per year. But in developed countries, it's a bit different. It starts from $25,000 to $30,000 to $100K or even $150K for the most experienced guy at the top level management. One thing is, in addition to all that, in developing countries, they need more. And the level of expenditure in economic is low, so they're gonna pay higher even. But depend upon the government exists in that country. That's the range available. You can search specifically in Google for which country you are searching for the ACCA salaries. Even in job search engines, you can search for the range available for the ACCA qualified or ACCA part qualified guys. The paper lengths, one of the important point is how I should do the exams, or what ranges available for me I can enter for the exam. The relationship of the papers for the financial accounting and reporting is start from FA1. It is related to FA2. It means the FA2 is the advanced paper of FA1, but in more depth review, in some of the easiest parts are removed, but very depth review and technical. The next paper, F3, is more technical and some of the basics are removed. F7 and SBR are the advanced levels. That's why it becomes tough. The exam is tougher and the knowledge area is much more advanced. So these papers are related to each other. You need to know the basic to come to FA2, to come to F3, and to come to that F7 and SBR. That's it, but they are interrelated. Within the range I told you, then this depend upon you, which papers you want to do together. Suppose for the FIA, between these 7 papers, you can do any of them anytime you want. It means you can enter to the FIA and you do the F3 paper first of all, before doing any of the papers. That's in your hand totally. You have independence on that. So most of the guys will do FA1 and they will enter to the exam, FA2 and F3, because they are interrelated and their knowledge is updated, and it will support them to do the papers together or after each other. And they will then shift to this management accounting, which is MA1, MA2, F2, F5, and APM, Advanced Performance Management. That structure is available. You can do among these 7 papers, any of them at your time. Even for management account, MA1, MA2 and F2, whatsoever you want, you can do it together, but you need to consider that range. ACCA recommended to do the FA1 after that MA1, FA2, MA2, that's the range available there. But what people can do to speed up their process, they can relate the papers within the range. After these 7 papers done, they can shift to the ACCA, and in the ACCA they will start from F4 to F9. That's another range. They can do whatsoever paper, which paper they want within that. They can do F9, they can do F4, F5, whatsoever. So they can make the connections between them, which papers are related to each other, which paper will support other one. They can do the same. For the P level, from the 6 papers available, which 4 you need to do, it's also depend upon you, which one you would like to do first and which one you would like to do the last one. But for financial management, the links of the paper, we have the F9 and P4, which is financial management and advanced financial management. They are related to each other. Audit and assurance and advanced audit and assurance is related to each other. Taxation and advanced taxation are related to each other. But ACCA, beside everything, will cover some leadership, economic, law and governance and management and these things. And these are covered in paper business and technology, corporate and business law, and strategic business leader. These three papers are a bit different to other ones. For the passing rate, exactly, this is the decision point, whether you want to enter to the ACCA or no. One thing, from all over the world, many, even thousands of students will enter to a session, to exam. And from that passing rate, which is shown to you below the screen, is available. This is the passing rate, the date. For the FA1, for the FIA level, from 100 guys who have entered to this exam, whether from UK, from Canada, from USA, from Australia, from Europe, from China, India, Pakistan, whatsoever, they have entered to this session. From 100 guys, 82 guys passed the paper, and the passing rate is 50 score. 100 scores available. If you get 50, you are passed. From 100, 82 passed. For MA1, from 100, 83, 80, 78, 76, 71, and 70. You see the declining trend. That's it. Whatsoever the papers are going upward, the level of passing rate will decrease. You can see for more detail the screen. For the applied knowledge and applied skills level, the passing rate, of course, I told you this paper is giant, and even the guys can start with this ACCA directly. For BT, which is F1, F2, and F3, this is 84, 69, 73, and it's shift to applied skill. F4, PM, taxation, FR, AA, and FM, which is F9. The passing rates are between 40, 51, 48, 39, and 45. This is the level of passing rates which is available, and you can see even for the F5 or performance management, from 100 guys, only the 40 guys are those guys who can pass and reach to 50 marks or over that. So a bit now it's tougher. And for corporate and business law, you can see it's 86 mark. Now it's computer based. One thing I should mention, that F4 is the same of this F3, these three papers, and you can enter the exam anytime, and the result will be announced at the same time when you finish the paper. And that's a bit easier now because it's on demand and a bit flexible. That's why we have a higher passing rate. But for the rest of that, they will shift for 4 exam sessions per year. Let's go ahead. For strategic professional exam pass rates, this is a bit lower. It starts with strategy business leader, which 49 guys from each 100 guys applied for the exam or entered to the exam passed. And even it decreased for the APM to 32, 30, around about this one, 35 for the AAA, Advanced Audit and Assurance. That's the passing rate. So you can consider from that, those guys exist, which are doing in best universities with best teachers available, instructors with them. And those guys which are doing in developing countries, who are hardworking, who are but low quality of knowledge and these things, universities available for them. With consideration of all, from each 100 guys, 32 has passed for the APM. You can search for more of that on Google and ACCA Global page. For the fees and charges, of course, each country have different fees and charges. I will put in description a link for fees and charges. You can check there. And in addition to that, you can even search in Google easily fees and charges of ACCA. It will come and you will select your country and the fees and charges will be given to you for the early registration, for standard, and for the late registrations for the exams and these things. But what you need to pay First of all, when you register for the ACCA, there will be initial registration fee. After that, annually you need to pay annual subscription fee. Each year, each student or the member should pay that. The tuition fee, which is related to your tuition provider, institute, university, or whatsoever you are learning, it depends upon that, and you need to pay. Or where you are learning online, you need to pay for that as a tuition fee. Exam fees for each paper depend upon the level you are studying. The exam fee should be paid for that. And ethics and professional skills module, it's ethics module that I told you. Also, there is a fee for that. You can search for that on the Google, and you need to pay that. Once everything is covered, your experience is covered, everything, all the papers and ethics module is covered, you're ready to go to the membership. For the admission to the membership, you need to pay also a fee. That's all the fees will be covered, but more and more, I can assure you that it will cost you lower. For the overall fee, it will cost you lower than the bachelor degree or master degree and these things. That's why even the duration, it will take 6 years, 7 years, 5 years, or whatsoever, but here you can do it even in 2 years, in 3 years, and equivalency of that master degree is available for you. Thank you so much for being with us till end of the video. Kindly subscribe to our channel, press that beautiful notification button, and share this video with your friends. Of course, the questions you haven't come to the YouTube and search for this video and same subject other guys may have, you can share with them. That's comprehensive video, covered almost everything you need to know about the ACCA. Thank you for being with us. Have a nice time.